Namaste and welcome. I'm Irene Pica, and I'm so glad that you could join me today. The focus of our class today is maintaining healthy and flexible joints. And the single most important thing we can do to maintain healthy joints is to keep moving. Movement is medicine. Movement stimulates and circulates the synovial fluid in the joints. It acts like a WD-40 for the joints, or like shock absorbers. So keeping the joints healthy is very important. For today's class, the only props you'll need is perhaps a cushion to sit on, maybe a blanket or a knee pad for your knees. So let's get started. Come into a comfortable seated position. You can sit cross-legged. If you prefer, you can have your legs extended. You can bring the soles of your feet together, or you can sit back on your heels. The important thing is to be comfortable. So let's take a deep breath in together and a long exhale through the mouth. Again, take a long, deep inhale and exhale with an audible sigh. Let's do that one more time. Inhale and exhale. This time, allow your eyes to gently close. Allow the expression on your face to begin to soften. Relax your shoulders. Let them drop away from your ears. And feel your sitting bones extending down deep into the earth like roots, grounding you. Imagine the crown of your head rising up toward the sky. Lift your chest and lengthen your spine. And begin to draw your attention inward. And begin to focus your attention on your breath. And take a few moments to simply notice the breath without trying to change it in any way. Just observe the simple act of breathing in and breathing out. Take a moment to notice the quality of your breath as you sit here. Is your breath deep and full, smooth or ragged? Which breath is longer, the in-breath or the out-breath? And whichever breath is shorter, begin to lengthen and deepen that breath. So the length of the inhale matches the length of the exhale. And then once you've done that, begin to lengthen and deepen both the in-breath and the out-breath. So equal inhale, equal exhale. Take about 3 more breaths, just like that. When you finish the third exhale, you can come back to your normal breathing rhythm. Take a moment to notice the effects of just a few minutes of conscious breathing. And then let your hands come together at your heart center. You may want to create an intention for your practice today. Once you have your intention, take a deep inhale. As you exhale, bow forward to seal your intention in. And then come back to an upright position. Release your hands. And if your eyes are closed, you can allow them to open. So we're going to begin our practice for healthy joints with the shoulders. So on your next inhale, lift just your right shoulder and then circle it back and down. Again, nice deep breath. Shoulder comes up toward the ear and rolls back. Again, just the right shoulder. And then one more time, just like that. And then switch to the left. Inhale and exhale. Again. So always synchronizing breath and movement. And one more time. And now this time, both shoulders together. Draw them up toward the ears, roll them back, draw the tips of the shoulder blades down the back. Again, inhale and exhale. Do that 2 more times. And then we'll go in the opposite direction, just 3 times. So a lot of us hold a tremendous amount of tension in the shoulders. So last time. And then take a breath in, squeeze your shoulders up toward your ears, hold your breath, and then a big exhale through your mouth, let the shoulders drop. So let your hands come down to rest on your knees now. As you inhale, we're moving to the neck now. So as you inhale, lift the chin. Feel that gentle stretch in the front of your neck. As you exhale, let the chin come down toward the chest. Feel the stretch in the back of your neck. Again, nice deep breath. Chin lifts. Exhale, chin toward the chest. We'll do that 2 more times. And now this last time, keep your chin tucked in toward your chest, and then let your chin begin to roll from shoulder to shoulder. No forcing, no straining. And then 1 more time each side. And then slowly lift your head back to center. Take a breath in. As you exhale, turn your head to the right. As you inhale, bring your head to center. Exhale, turn your head to the left. And inhale, center. Again, exhale to the right. Inhale, center. And exhale to the left. And center. Let's do that 1 more time each side. And then coming back to center, take a breath in. As you exhale, tip your right ear toward your right shoulder. You can press your left fingertips into the floor and just observe the stretch. Breathe into it. If your fingertips don't quite reach the floor, you can always use a block or a cushion under your fingertips. So let's take a couple more breaths here. Facial muscles stay relaxed. Lips soft, even slightly parted. After your next exhale, inhale and bring your head back to center. Exhale and tip your left ear toward your left shoulder. So right fingertips are going to press into the floor to counter the stretch. Notice if it feels any different for you on this side. Take a couple more deep breaths. And then after your next exhale, bring your head to center. And then begin to draw little circles with your nose. So these are not full head rolls, just gentle, easy circles. And then go around in the opposite direction. And then one last time. And bring your head back to center. So keeping your hands on your knees, we're going to move into a sequence that is sometimes called the 6 movements of the spine. So these movements can be done as a standalone practice. And they're really great to bring, to move that synovial fluid through the whole spine. So take a deep breath in. Allow your ribs, your chest, and your chin to lift. So this is the first movement, a back bend. And then as you exhale, drop your chin toward your chest, round your back. This is a little mini forward bend. Again, inhale, allow the ribs, chest, and chin to lift. And exhale, round your back. Draw your navel back toward your spine. Again, deep, full inhale, lifting the heart. Exhale, scooping the belly, rounding the back. Let's do 2 more just like that. And then last one. And then come back to center. So the 3rd and 4th movements of the spine are side bends to the right, side bends to the left. So placing your right hand on the floor, take a deep full breath, sweep the left arm up, and then exhale and take a side bend over to your right. We're going to move a little bit in this side bend. So as you inhale, come out of the stretch just a little bit. As you exhale, go back into it. So almost like a little pulsing movement. It's almost like the breath is moving you. And now this time, stay in the side bend for about 3 breaths. Try to let that bottom shoulder drop away from your ear. Reach out through your fingertips. So 2 more breaths here. And then inhale to center, and exhale, release your hand to the floor. Other side, inhale, sweep the right arm up, and exhale over into your side bend. And then just as we did on the other side, little pulsing movements, inviting the breath to move your body. And then staying in your side bend for about 3 breaths. You can slightly turn your heart toward the ceiling if you like. One more breath in, one more breath out, and then inhale, come to center. Exhale, release your hand to the floor. So the last 2 movements of the spine involve twisting right and twisting left. So we'll do that by placing hands on the shoulders, and then inhale, twist to the right, and exhale, twist to the left. Inhale right, exhale left. Now you can pick up the pace if you like, or you can keep it very slow. Whatever feels best for you. Let's do 2 more to each side. And then come back to center, release your hands down to the floor. If your legs are crossed, you might want to take just a moment to uncross them, maybe shake them out a little bit. And then as we move into the wrists and the fingers, you can either keep your legs extended, you can cross them again, or bring them into any comfortable position. So wrists and fingers, we're going to start by making fists with both hands. Inhale, and then exhale, extend the fingers wide. Again, make fists, exhale, extend the fingers. Now if you like, you can move into lion pose. So lion pose involves, you may feel a little silly doing this, but sticking the tongue out and making a loud, almost roaring sound. So inhale, exhale. Breathe in, breathe out. So lion is a great way to release stress and tension from the body. Let's do 1 more. And then release. Begin to rotate your wrists. So the wrists really do need a lot of attention these days because we spend a lot of time in our cars gripping the steering wheel. We spend a lot of time on the computer. And some of us can end up with carpal tunnel and other issues. So really important to keep the wrists healthy. So come back to center. And then we're going to extend the right hand away from us. Take the left hand and hold on to the outside or the underneath part of the fingers. If you can catch your thumb as well, you can do that. If not, we'll stretch the thumb separately. So take a breath in, exhale, draw your fingers back. Observe the stretch. And then you can let that go, and if you weren't able to catch the thumb, you can stretch the thumb. Okay, and then with the same hand, let your fingers point down and take the fingers of the left hand and then press the right fingers down. Feel that stretch in the front of your wrist. And breathe, always breathing. Release that. And we'll do the other side. So starting with the palm facing away, pressing the fingers back. catching the thumb if you can, or taking the thumbs separately. And then palm facing away, now pressing the fingers down, observing the stretch. And releasing it. Just a couple more for the wrists. We'll bring the palms together like in Namaste, pressing the heels of the hands together. And then bring your thumbs in toward the center of your chest. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, press the heels of your hands down toward your navel. Hold there for a couple of breaths. Deep inhales, long exhales. Okay, now reverse the fingers, so now they point down toward the floor. This time, take the heel of your hand up toward the center of your chest, trying to keep your fingers pointed down toward the floor as much as possible. Take a couple of breaths here. Try to avoid lifting the shoulders. Let them relax. And then after your next exhale, you could release and just shake out the fingers. And from here, extending your legs out in front of you. Again, shaking them out if you need to. And then we'll work on the ankles and the feet. So just pointing the toes, flexing the feet. Pointing and flexing. Inhaling, exhaling. And then circling the ankles. It's a funny thing about circling the ankles. People have kind of habitual ways of doing this. They either circle the ankles away from each other in opposite directions, or they go around in the same direction. It doesn't really matter which you're doing, as long as you go in both directions. Sometimes it's good to mix things up. It's actually good for your brain to do things in a different way. So if you're a same direction circler, you could try going in the opposite directions. And then come back to center. So we're going to come down onto our backs now. So we're going to be working now on the hips and the knees. Let's begin just taking a full body stretch. Reach your arms overhead, stretch the legs out. Take a deep breath in, stretch from your fingertips to your toes. Inhale, hold your breath. And exhale with a sigh, and release. Let your arms come alongside you. Bend your knees, and then bring your knees in toward your chest. Place one hand on each knee. As you inhale, move your knees away from you. As you exhale, pull your knees in toward your chest. Again, inhale, the knees move away. Exhale, and pull them in. Again, coordinating breath and movement. Nice stretch for the low back. So the next time the knees come in toward your chest, stay there and then separate your knees wide apart. Push them away, bring them back together again. And again, bring the knees in, apart, away, and back together. So you're circling your knees away from you, beginning to bring the synovial fluid into the hip joints. And let's reverse direction. Knees move away and apart. Come back in and back together. And then we'll do that a couple more times. And then back to center. This time we'll keep the right knee bent. Fingers can interlace and be placed over the shin of the right leg. And then let your left leg extend out on the floor. So take a deep breath in. As you exhale, pull your knee in a little closer. And then press out through the left heel. Breathe into the stretch. Take 2 more breaths here. And then switch sides. So left knee comes in, right leg is long and extended. Maybe the right leg will float off the ground an inch or so. Take 1 more breath. And then let your left foot come to the floor. Bring your right knee in and bring your hands underneath it. So inhale and extend your right leg up toward the ceiling. And exhale, bring your knee in. Inhale, extend the leg, foot is flexed. And exhale, draw the knee in toward the shoulder. Again, breathe in and breathe out. So beginning to bring that synovial fluid into the knee joint. And the next time the leg is extended, let it stay there. You can press the back of your thigh into your hands. And then if you choose to, you can let the left leg extend. Take a couple of breaths here. And then 1 more breath in. As you exhale, bring your right foot to the floor and bend your left knee in. So hands are coming in back of the knee, fingers interlaced. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, bend it in. Again, breathe in and breathe out. Let's do that 2 more times. And then holding the leg extended. And if you like, you can let your right leg extend as well, pressing out through the heel. If you do have lower back issues, you might be more comfortable keeping the right foot on the floor. So take a couple more breaths. And then bring your left foot to the floor. So here we want to keep the hips, the knees, the hips, not the hips. You can scratch that. Keep your knees and your feet hip distance apart. So we're going to come into some pelvic tilts. Take a breath in. As you exhale, begin to tip your tailbone toward your pubic bone. You should feel the back of your waist pressing down into the floor. You can engage the gluteal muscles and the abdominal muscles. And then inhale and release it. Again, exhale, squeezing. Feel the small of your back press down into the floor and release. So So here we're working on the lumbar spine, the lower back, sacrum. And then from here, you can come into a rolling bridge. If for any reason that doesn't work for you today, you can continue with these pelvic tilts. So if you want to try the rolling bridge, you can inhale and press the feet into the floor and let the back body begin to lift off the floor. And then exhale and think of rolling down one vertebra at a time. Almost as though the vertebrae in your spine were like a string of pearls. And then the same thing, rolling up one vertebra at a time. And rolling back down again. If you choose to, you can add your arms. Inhaling, letting the arms lift as you come up. Exhaling, letting the arms come down again. This time when you come up, if it feels good for your body, you can stay there. You might want to bring your weight onto your upper arms and elbows, fingers stretched out, and then pressing the upper arms and elbows into the floor to get a little more of a lift. So this is a really important pose. It strengthens the feet and the ankles, the legs, the hips, and the spine. So let's hold for another breath or two if you can. And then to come down, take one more breath in. Exhale, very slowly bring the spine back to the floor. And then just rest for a breath or two. Take a moment to experience the effects of being in bridge pose. Might want to bring your knees in toward your chest for another couple of breaths. And then let your feet come back to the floor, hip distance apart. Take the right ankle and bring it just above your left knee. And then take your right hand and press into your right thigh. So here you want to keep the right foot strongly flexed. That action will help protect your knee. And then observe the stretch. For some people, this may be more than enough, so maybe you want to stay right where you are. If you want more, you can lift your left foot from the floor, maybe bringing your hands around to the back of the left thigh. And then you might want to explore some little micro movements here. Maybe rocking a little bit forward and a little bit back. Maybe rocking a little bit side to side. So really wonderful stretch for the outer hip. And some people like to extend the other leg up toward the ceiling, the left leg. And then we'll take about 3 more breaths here. Deep, full breaths. And 1 more breath. And then let the left foot find the floor. Extend your right leg up for a breath or 2. And then bring your right foot to the floor. Other side, left ankle comes right above the right knee. You can press into the left thigh. So you'll notice the knee moving away from you here. Of course, being conscious of any knee issues, injuries, recent surgeries, anything like that that you may have experienced. Anything that doesn't feel good in your body, always feel free to modify. And if you want more, the right foot can lift. Hands can come around to the back of the right thigh. And again, giving yourself permission to explore. How does it feel if we bring some small movements into the stretch? And if you like, the right leg can extend up. So this is Pigeon Pose on your back, sometimes called four square pose. So it has several different names. Two more breaths. And then bring your right foot to the floor. Extend your left leg up toward the ceiling. And then you can bring your left foot down. I'm going to roll over onto either side and come on to all fours. So you may want to take a moment, if your knees are sensitive, to maybe put your blanket down, maybe a knee pad, making sure that your knees will be comfortable here. So coming into table pose, taking a moment to check that your wrists are under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips. So we're going to move through some cat-cows, but with a little different focus. We're going to move much slower than we usually do. So we're going to start out by leading with the tailbone. So as you inhale, begin to tilt your tailbone upward, and then think of the movement just rippling through your spine, and then finally lifting the chest a bit. Now as you exhale, let the tuck of the tailbone initiate the movement. So you're tucking the tailbone, very gradually arching the back, letting the chin come in toward the chest. Again, beginning the movement by tilting the tailbone upward. Slowly bringing the rest of the spine into the action. Chest lifts, chin lifts, and then again initiating with the tuck of the tailbone. Let's do one more just like that. And then come back to center. This time we're going to initiate the movement with the heart. So as you inhale, lift your heart, finally lifting the tailbone. As you exhale, begin with the heart. So chin comes forward, gradually arching the back, finally tucking the tailbone. Again, the heart moves forward, the chin lifts, and then exhale. Movement begins with the heart. We'll do one more just like that. and then come back to center. So begin to think of maybe wagging your tail, shaking the hips side to side, like you're a dog and you're wagging that tail. And then from here, move your hips to the left and look over your left shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, move your hips to the right, look over your right shoulder. And inhale, center. Again, hips go to the left, look to the left. Inhale, center, and exhale, go to the right. And back to center. Now you could begin to move a little more quickly if you like. You can also exhale with a ha breath. So this movement for the hips and for the spine. One more time each side. And then come back to center. Let your right leg extend back with your toes tucked under. And begin to rock forward and back. To get a nice stretch for the toes. And then do the other side. And then come onto both knees. For the next one, you may want to get a cushion or a blanket and put it in back of your knees. So we're going to stretch out the toe joints. So curl your toes under and then move your hips back, walk your hands back, and then come to sit back on your heels. So if you're not used to stretching the feet this way, this can feel a little bit intense. You want to stay here for at least 5 breaths. You're also getting a nice stretch in the quads. And just notice the sensations that you feel. Nice deep breaths in and out through the nostrils. Deep inhales, long exhales. And one more breath in, and one more breath out. And then come back up onto your knees. You can move the cushion aside if you like. So we're going to stay on our hands and knees. And then moving into the hip joint again. So right leg is going to extend back. And then you can let the right leg lift to hip height. Let the leg bend. And then imagine that you have a pencil attached to your right knee. And you're going to draw the number 8 with that pencil. So bring your knee down and then do an internal rotation, drawing the top of the loop of the number 8. And then let the right knee cross in back of the left and draw the bottom of the loop. So internally and externally rotating the hip joint. So figure eights with your knee. Let's do one more with the right leg. And then let the right leg extend back at hip height. Take a deep breath in and exhale onto both knees. And then we'll do the same thing with the left. So let the left leg lift. Bend your knee. And then bring the knee forward, internally rotate, externally rotate. External, internal. So exploring the range of motion in your hip joint. And we'll do one more. And then extend the leg back. Take a breath in, exhale, and bring your knee to the floor. And then open the space between your knees as wide as you comfortably can. Bring your big toes to touch. Take a breath in. Exhale, bring your hips back toward your heels. If this causes pressure on the knees, you can always bring a cushion in back of you. So coming into child's pose. The arms can be extended out in front of you. They can rest alongside you. You may want to stack your hands one on top of the other and let your forehead rest on your hands. So after your next exhale, bring yourself back onto all fours and then come back into a seated position, but instead of crossing your legs, bring your feet flat onto the floor. Bring the hips, the feet and the knees very wide apart. Begin to let your knees move from side to side. And you can add a little twist if you like. So the next time your knees come to the right, you can cross your left arm in front of you. And then inhale, sweep the left arm through center, bring your knees to center. Exhale and come into a twist on the other side. Again, breathing in and breathing out. Just one more time each side. And then come back to center and bring the soles of your feet together. So notice if your knees are way up in the air in this position. If they are, try moving your feet away from you. See if that would allow the knees to relax a little bit. And then you can place your hands either on your ankles, your shins, or your knees. Take a deep breath in and lift your heart. Deep inhale. And then exhale. Pull your navel towards your spine and begin to hinge forward from your hips. Again, holding on to the feet, the ankles, wherever it's comfortable for you to hold. So coming into Badakanasana, bound angle pose. Breathing. Noticing breath, noticing sensation. Noticing where your mind is right now. Take one more breath in, one more breath out. And then inhale, slowly come up and draw your knees together. And then we'll roll right down onto our backs. And take a full body stretch here. Arms overhead, legs long and extended. Deep inhale. Exhale and release. And then take a moment for whatever last movement or stretch your body is craving right now. Maybe it's child's pose on your back. Maybe you're craving a spinal twist. Maybe happy baby. So what does your body need right at this moment? Maybe you'd like to get the legs up into the air for a few breaths. So any last posture, any last stretch or movement that your body needs right now so that your practice feels complete. And then whenever you're ready, you can bring yourself into a comfortable position for Shavasana. So you can let your arms and legs extend. You may want to bring your knees together, constructive rest position. You might want to lay on your side. So arrange your body as comfortably as you can. And then take a deep, full breath in. Exhale through your mouth. And release the weight of your body into the earth. Let your body become heavy. Feel the weight of your arms and the weight of your legs as they rest on the ground. Relax all of your facial muscles. Invite your shoulders to soften and just melt into the ground. Breathe into a soft, relaxed belly. So let your breath be effortless. Feel the support of the earth under you. Be aware of the vast expanse of sky above you. Invite your mind to become quiet and still, like a pond with no ripples. And rest in stillness for the next few moments and receive the gifts of your practice. You can stay in Shavasana as long as you like. And whenever you're ready to come out, you can begin to take some deeper, fuller breaths. You might want to bring some gentle movements into the fingers and into the toes. When you feel ready, you could draw your knees in toward your chest. Wrap your arms around them. And give yourself a hug. And then let your knees come over to the right side. Take a moment to rest on your side. And when you're ready, you can take the top hand and press into the floor and bring yourself into a comfortable seated position. Once you're there, bring your hands together at your heart center. Notice how you feel as you sit here. Notice if anything has shifted or changed for you after your practice. And then we'll take a deep breath in together. As you exhale, bow forward to seal your practice in. Slowly coming back to an upright position. Taking another deep breath and bowing forward once more. May all beings everywhere be happy, healthy, safe, free from harm, and live with ease. Namaste.